My name is Brian Litster. I'm a funeral director in Mbama with the Co-operative Funeral Care. The role of a funeral director is quite simply to deal with families during one of the most upsetting and troubling times in their life. You make arrangements with families, you organise ministers, crematoria, things like that to make sure everything is perfect for them. You then conduct a funeral on the day of the service, which means you're quite high profile. We're paging in front of the hearse. We're making sure the family are comfortable, make sure there's nothing worrying them, and basically make sure the whole day goes just as they'd like. When I was 13, 14, 15, I had a police record for vandalism, theft, things like that. It did make a big impact on my family's life. What really changed was quite simple intervention from mainly one of my teachers and also my uncle, who was a prison officer up in Edinburgh. He actually took me to the jail and put me in a jail cell for nearly 2 hours and just said, "This is where you're heading if you don't buck your ideas up." And then Mr. Coburn at my school, when I was growing up in secondary, about 15-year-old, just took me aside and had a word with me, just told me I could do a lot better than I'm doing, and if I just knuckle down, I can get into college and go on to do whatever I want. I left college to become a mechanic at Pringle of Scotland, the knitwear firm. That was an apprenticeship, and one of the big things that happened at that point in my second year of my apprenticeship, as I met my girlfriend, decided to move down to South Cumbria, and I became a bingo caller down here, which was a complete change from what I'd done before. I then went on to work with an insulation firm, fitting insulation to jet engines. And it was fascinating to see the engineering side, which is kind of the base I wanted to go into originally as a school leaver. Finished that and I started working in a petrol station and a restaurant, just trying to make ends meet, help the family out. Then I got the job in the funeral service, and things literally from there went skywards. There's no specific qualifications that you need to come into the job. All of the training can be done while you're working doing the job. I started as a driver-bearer, simply driving on funerals and bearing on funerals. I then progressed to full-time, taking care of the cars, making arrangements as a trainee funeral director. So everything can be learned doing the job. So it's quite fortunate. We get a lot of people who can do the job that may not have school qualifications, but they make some of the best funeral directors in the country. My mum was a great influence on my work ethic growing up. I mean, at one point, my mother, who brought us, all four of us, myself and my three brothers up on her own, she had 2 jobs, or no, 3 jobs even, trying to support us. We never went out without new shoes. We never went without anything we really needed. She was a great influence on how I view work. I've never been shy about having, a couple of jobs to make ends meet, so it's been a big influence in the family. Looking back to where I could have been, looking back to how I was as a teenager, and looking at myself now, I am very proud of how I am now. And it just proves that you can, with a little bit of work and a little bit of dedication, that you can actually change no matter how off the rails you are as a teenager. I think everything that's happened in my past, everything has accumulated to make me the person I am. So even if I could go back and change something, I don't think I would. I'm happy with who I am and how I am.